700,000 people. Imagine this number as 12,000 individuals packing their bags and leaving the United Kingdom every single week. This is not just a dry statistic buried in newspapers. It signals something far deeper, a potential national structural collapse. From millionaires taking billions in assets abroad due to rising tax pressures, to young people under 35 making up the majority of migrants because they simply cannot afford soaring rent, the message is clear. For the first time since 1348, London's population is showing signs of reversal. Why has a global power reached a point where 60% of its population would rather return to the conditions of the 1990s? In this video, we uncover the stark realities behind this record wave of migration. Why is modern London being compared to a giant Ponzi scheme? And when the brightest minds and largest fortunes begin to leave, who will be left behind? If you remember a Britain where hard work could earn you a home, a car, and a comfortable life, today's reality may feel like a dystopian shift. Let's begin with what can be called the mathematics of survival. Once known as the workshop of the world, England now faces a troubling paradox. Labor is no longer translating into wealth. Productivity ranks among the lowest in developed nations, while real wages have remained nearly stagnant for over 15 years. In 2007, British income was only slightly behind European neighbors. Today, that gap has widened dramatically. At the same time, taxes have reached their highest levels since World War II. The middle class, once the backbone of society, is shrinking. What used to represent over 65% of the population has now dropped below 40%. This isn't disappearance, it's downward movement, as rising costs push families into financial strain. Millions now face energy poverty, forced to choose between heating their homes or putting food on the table. People are no longer eating for enjoyment but for survival. This raises a painful question: will future generations ever achieve the standard of living their parents once had? Even stable incomes are no longer enough. Housing has become the biggest financial burden of all. What was once a basic right has turned into a luxury commodity. In London, average rents have reached extreme levels, requiring salaries far beyond what most people earn. Homeownership now feels like an impossible dream. House prices are many times higher than average incomes, making it nearly unattainable for younger generations. Even cities like Manchester are experiencing rapid rent increases. In some areas, prices have surged dramatically within just a few years. People are being forced into harsh choices: spend over half their income on rent or endure exhausting daily commutes from distant areas. The UK now faces one of the highest homelessness rates among developed countries, a troubling sign for a nation of its stature. This system increasingly resembles a cycle where younger generations support wealth accumulation for a small group of property owners. As a result, many are leaving. Not because they want to, but because they are searching for a place where a home feels like security, not a financial trap. But the crisis doesn't stop at housing. Public services, once a source of national pride, are under severe strain. Healthcare waiting lists have reached millions, with long delays becoming the norm. Emergency services are overwhelmed, and basic care often takes months to access. Schools and hospitals are aging, with many buildings exceeding their intended lifespan. Environmental concerns are also rising, with pollution affecting rivers and natural spaces. This decline is not just about resources, but about management and priorities. At the same time, professionals like doctors, nurses, and teachers are leaving their roles due to burnout and dissatisfaction. Another major shift is happening quietly: the departure of wealth. A growing number of millionaires are leaving the country, taking significant financial resources with them. This trend, sometimes called wealth exit, reflects concerns about taxation and economic policy. The top earners contribute a large share of national tax revenue. As they leave, the financial burden increasingly falls on the middle class. This affects investment, job creation, and overall economic stability. Major business districts are seeing changes, with companies relocating to other global cities. The country now faces a difficult balancing act: maintaining public services while ensuring it remains attractive for investment. Beyond economics, there is a deeper issue: a sense of social and emotional decline. Many people feel disconnected, uncertain, and less optimistic about the future. Surveys show a significant portion of the population believes life was better decades ago. Mental health challenges are rising, and overall life satisfaction is declining. Communities feel less secure, and trust in institutions is weakening. This creates a cycle where dissatisfaction leads to departure, and departure further weakens the system. Looking ahead, some projections suggest that migration patterns could shift even further, potentially leading to long-term demographic challenges. An aging population, combined with the loss of younger workers and skilled professionals, could create additional pressure on the economy and public services. This raises a fundamental question. Is this the end of an era, or a painful transformation towards something new? The departure of hundreds of thousands of people is not just a statistic. It represents individual stories of ambition, struggle, and difficult choices. For those who remain, the challenge is clear. How to rebuild, restore balance, and create a future worth staying for. Whether this moment becomes a turning point or a continued decline depends on decisions made today. What would you prioritize fixing first?